Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
Thank you very much, K-Bone Rice, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Fan Cave. This is where we chat every night. We'd love to hear from you at 412-575-2600. Bob Pompeani tonight, flanked by Andrew Fillipponi of 93.7 The Fan and his national CBS show, The Pony Express. And as always, we have no shortage of topics, and we invite you to call us or tweet us at KDPomp at The Pony Express. And Andrew, welcome aboard. Just want to get your thoughts on Mike Tomlin, who had a lot of ground to cover today. I thought one of his more interesting quotes was about Ben Roethlisberger. When asked about his assessment of his performance, he said, well, not bad so far, but there's still a lot of bone or meat on that bone, which I agree with. I think he's in the early stages of getting the rust off. I think if Ben Roethlisberger improves from what we've seen, this team is going to be extremely difficult to contain in terms of points, which should make their defensive effort even bigger.
I'd take what he's done the first two games the rest of the year, Bob. I don't think he needs to be great. I don't think the Steelers need a quarterback that's part of the the MVP conversation or All-Pro. With the way their defense is expected to play, let's hope that second half against Denver was aberration, was a complete outlier, was a complete fluke, Bob, against a bad backup quarterback. You know, this team has changed its identity. It's not an offensive first to 30 point scored team anymore. When I compare what Ben has done, Bob, to what the other old quarterbacks we've seen so far this year, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, I think he's ahead of all those guys, and I wouldn't want to demand or ask too much of him because I think when he presses and tries to do too much, that's when the interceptions come in.
Yeah, and that would mean to me that the run game's got to be better just to take a little pressure off him so you don't see him pass the ball. It's increased each of the first 2 weeks. You don't want to get it up to 45, 48 a game. But the run game right now has not been very consistent. It was at the end of the game against the Giants. Snell was carrying the ball, but then he fumbled again in this game, and now his role is kind of up in the air. So I'm wondering what they do in the run game and how important it is this week against the Texans.
Well, you got to get a lead to run the ball, I think. And to me, you want to be able to be a balanced offense. But most importantly, when you're in the fourth quarter of a game, or take last week, when you're leading by double digits in the second half, Bob, you want to be able to run the ball and use clock and not have very short drives where you punt the ball, don't take off much time, and give the team a chance to come back. And that's where the run game comes in for me. I didn't like what Tomlin said about the run game. He sounded very positive about it today. And sure, if you look at two 100-yard backs, you might get the feeling that all is good in the Steelers running back world, but I don't feel that way. Because like you said, I don't think Benny Snell right now has the confidence of his coach. We've already seen James Conner get injured once this year. And Bob, if they really believed in the run, you tell me why they called 16 consecutive pass plays in the second half when they had a double-digit lead.
That's what I'm talking about. You don't want to see that trend continue. The run game would help it, and that's why it has to be more consistent, I think is the word we're looking for, Andrew. Got a tweet here from Sean Kramer. We asked you to tweet us at KDPomp at the Pony Express. He says, although 2 games, it's only 2 games, Bud Dupree continues to add value to his new contract. It won't be in Pittsburgh, and I agree with that. He has been terrific so far, and the Brinks truck will back up. He'll get it and go someplace else. But that leaves an opportunity to sign some other worthy guys. And I think Mike Hilton has been one of their best players that nobody really talks about nationally, Andrew. This guy has been outstanding, and I would imagine his price is going up, but it'd be more suitable to what the Steelers could afford, I think.
Well, the top slot corner in the NFL makes $9 million a year. It's not a cheap position anymore because, as Mike Tomlin said today, so much base defense is now 5 defensive backs on the field. Bob, how about the snap count in Sunday's game? Cam Hayward played 61 snaps. Mike Hilton played 55. So that goes to show you his importance. You know, I've been saying this for years. I don't understand why they can't negotiate with a player in season. It started in 1993 when free agency began. That's when Dan Rooney first made the decision, let's not do in-season negotiations. But that's almost 30 years ago, Bob. Times change. They never used to trade first-round picks. They did that last year around this time, and it's a good thing they did, because without it, they wouldn't have Minka Fitzpatrick. How about when they traded up for Devin Bush? Times change.
Right.
I would go to the bargaining table right now with Mike Hilton. To your point, he deserves it.
He does, and I think $9 million is more doable than what Bud Dupree will get. But having said that, I would agree with that, but I don't think the Steelers are going to do that. They pretty much have shut that door. But you're right. They've changed their ways a couple of times during the last. In a pandemic, you just don't know what you're going to be dealing with in the next season when it comes to salary cap. We got a lot to get into, Andrew. So we'll talk about the Pirates, and they got some good news today. Not just a walk-off win tonight, but good news about where they may be drafting. And we want your take on all of these things. Call us at 412-575-2600. That puts you in touch with us right here live on Pittsburgh's CW.